development introduced two curriculums. One is Navachetana for 0 to 3 years. Other one is Adarsh Shila between 3 and 6 years. This curriculum provided Anganwadi workers to monitor the development of a child, organize preschool activities, and many more things. Sir, I want to give some analysis of the importance of ECCE. NEP 2020 notes that it is important that children receive good education between 3 to 8 years. During that period, children's cognitive, motor, socio-emotional skills will develop very well. NEP 2020 also tells that it is between up to age 6, your brain, 85% of your brain will develop. Sir, let us now look at some numbers. According to me, according to the statistics, in 2021 estimation, there are 16.1 crore children between the age of 0 to 6 years. That means it is 11% of our population. Sir, our portion portion tracker notes that there are 3.5 crore children, but between the age gap of 3 to 6 years attend Anganwadi centers. Additionally, there are 4 more crore children who are benefited by these schemes. There are a few well-off people in our country. Their children will go to private schools, and I'm not talking about that. I'm standing here on the behalf of all those remaining children here, sir. Where do they go? When it is a 16.1 crore and 3.5 crore plus 4 crore negligible well-off people who will go to school, where are the remaining children? Where will they go? They don't come to Anganwadi, then where will they go? Probably they are going. They may be rowing on the dusty roads in the rural area. Or they may be accompanying their parents in a dangerous working places like railway tracks, etc. Or they may be playing somewhere without any supervision. And I care for those children. I stand here, sir. As Anganwadi education is not compulsory, these children are always neglected because the method is, the rule is 6 to 14, so nobody bothers between 3 to 6. There are many reasons for that. Number one, parents are normally, these are the people who are not well off, who are working. They are not even aware of the importance of Anganwadi education between 3 to 6, where your brain develops, where you get nutritional food, where you have preschool activities. They are not even aware of it. Second one, they may not even have a time to think about it because they are so busy in making both ends meet for their livelihood. They say they don't even think. Number three, anyway, they have an attitude. The child will go to school after 6 age for the standard one. Why worry about it? They are not aware by doing that it is going to affect the children's future and their capacity. Result of this is very upsetting, sir. Let me take 2 examples. Let me take a girl A and a boy B. I always believe girls are smarter, so let me tell that one. Both of them are brought up in the same atmosphere in a rural area where there is Anganwadi, and girl A or a girl will go to Anganwadi between 3 to 6. She will learn cognitive skills, motor skills, socio-economic skills. She will learn good hygiene habits. Everything happens to her. Her brain is also developed. The other child who doesn't go from the same area, and both of them at the age of 6 go to school in the first standard. The girl A will have step by step, so she goes to the next step. The boy B is not able to go to step 1, he has to jump to step B. The child which comes to school without any preparation of any of these skills gets scared. These are the hurdles. The child sits at the back bench probably, worrying that what will I do, how will I talk, what the teacher will say. I don't know what is A-I-E or A-B-C-D, whatever language you have. Doesn't know how to count, doesn't have any other skill except that he has played last 3 to 6 years somewhere else. The child gets diffident. The child is worried. Child thinks about his self-esteem and self-worth. The child is scared. This is not for all children. There are many children who directly come to class 6. They also can overcome, but if the child has a great potential. But I'm talking about normal children. Then if the child has to improve, a teacher, a parent, or the child, or all three of them should consult, then it is possible to overcome this hurdle. Many a times it is not possible. So the child carries this of scared of learning, going to school, the joy of learning, the joy of going to school, because the fundamental is weak. When you build a building and your base is not good, the building will collapse. So the same thing will happen to the children who do not have a good base, and that means a mental base. So this dark mark will remain with the child even when he or she goes, other classes. The results are really difficult. The child will not enjoy his education. Sir, children are our future. They are rising sun. Their early education should benefit to their life. Hence, I request through you, sir, to our government to consider amending our constitution to give fundamental right to education from year 6 to 14 years to 3 to 14 years. Just increase 3 more years, but fundamental years, not later years, so that children can stand up in life with a good base and good skill. Sir, let us look at some opportunities in case it has been amended. Number 1, the female labor force participation will increase because of the more Anganwadi workers and Anganwadi helpers in Anganwadi centers. Second, the family of children who are going to work, their productivity is very high because they are not worried about where the children will be at that time. The most important thing is the early detection of disabilities. Suppose the child goes to Anganwadi, there is a screening method. There you will come to know the child is in speech or in hear or in either malfunctioning is happening. Early screening helps them their future, because they can get corrected in an early stage. We always say when the sapling cannot, you can bend a sapling when it is very small, young, in any direction. Once it becomes a tree, it is very difficult to move. Similarly, any intervention, any help is required for such children with some malfunctioning is there, that can be taken care in screening. And this is one of the most important things in Anganwadi. Number 4, children brain is completely developed by this time. It's a great boost. Sir, I have a few more humble suggestions to the government, to the Madam Annapurna Devi. We must have a large-scale awareness for this 3 to 6 year education. The beautiful campaign which caught my eye was Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Similar kind of a campaign is required for children between age 3 to 6 to go to Anganwadi. The government can consider, state government can consider to rope CSR funds from industries. Sir, every company has CSR mandatory, which is 2%. And second thing is, there are certain rules are there which the schemes come under CSR. Some schemes do not come under CSR. I would request ma'am to think over it. Anganwadi improvement scheme, you should put it in CSR, you should list in CSR so that industry can also participate in this. Normally, Anganwadi workers feel this title, sir. When I work with Anganwadi workers, they always say, we don't like to be called Anganwadi workers. I said, why? No, we like the word Asha. Asha looks nice. Maybe in that atmosphere, the word Asha has a lot more Asha. Whereas Anganwadi is like, they think, oh, you are like anybody else, I want some other name. So there are many names, sir, but I have one suggestion. Decision is ultimately government. Deepa. Deepa. This is the word which is a light. A light is synonymous with knowledge. A lamp removes the darkness. Darkness is ignorance. Deepa is a word which is valid from north to south and east to west. Everybody understands the meaning of Deepa is the same Deepa. So this gives them a kind of resilience, kind of enthusiasm to work. Because in village area, Asha is more important. They always feel Anganwadi is not. So this is a small psychological lift I want to give. Whenever Anganwadi center infrastructure is made, modified, I would request government to consider child-friendly. It should be made more child-friendly. Sir, I know it is not easy task. It is difficult, I know, but it is possible. You require enormous amount of time, sir, because you can see the history. Vajpayee ji took a step in 2002, but in 2009, it was the RTE, or right of education, right to education, was implemented. In 2000, it took 7 long years. Similarly, 2018, portion tracking system started, and it came into existence after 3 years. So it takes time. Logistics, and there are many logistics are required to implement this. Most important is like a heart is financial implications. Though it is a lot of investment, and it has a lot of thinking on financial implications. 4, India is a large country with a large population. It is not like, what you implement in a smaller country, it is in 20 days, it's not possible in India 20 months, because it is a huge country with huge population. And wherever you want to implement different methodologies, different things have to use in each state. But sir, we have to do this. I urge government to consider this. Sir, if we want to change the destiny of our children, our country, in our country only we have to do. I will quote a shloka from Bhagavad Gita. It was asked to Krishna, who can help? Who is my good friend? Who is my who is my enemy? Krishna says, Atmahi Atmano Bandhur, Atmahi Ripo Atmana. You are your best friend. Who is my enemy? You are your own enemy. Suppose, sir, my country has to develop, we have to work. We the people, we the society, we the government, all of us have to work to improve our country, to make it better in our country. Everything should work, then we have to work. We should not depend on anybody. Sir, Shri Modi ji's vision is always Atmanirbhar Bharata. It is one of the fantastic methods, sir, because you are depend on yourself. Atmahi, Atmano Bandhur, that means your friend. And if you don't do that, you are your enemy. Atmahi Ripo Atmanaha. It makes us self-sufficient, self-reliant, and it makes us confident people. And that's the reason I feel, with all the difficulties, we the people, we the government, we the society, we the school, all should participate in this big movement of the age between 3 to 6, and making compulsory learning method or Anganwadi system. Sir, now I want to give some examples. For example, when the job is uphill task, walking on a hill, uphill is not easy, but it can be made flat. I'll give 3 examples. The first example I would like to give is Huainat Sung in 629 AD. He was a Chinese traveler, a bright Buddhist monk who wanted to come to India and go to Nalanda. His ultimate thing was Nalanda, a great Buddhist university at that time, and learn there, take the text, Chinese, Indian Buddhist text back to China. When he decided, everyone gave advice to him. Anyway, in India we are famous for giving free advice. He also must have got a lot of free advice there, saying that you can't go, it's a distant land, it's the western side, how will you go? The emperor of the Tang dynasty at that time was very fond of him. He said, you cannot go. How can you go to India? By foot, it is not possible. So he imprisoned him. But Huainat Sung, escaped in the night. He walked Gobi Desert by foot, took the Silk Route, and came to Kanauj, then to Patna, and then to Nalanda. He learned there as a student first, and later he became a teacher. And he wrote a book known as CUK, Wandering in the West. For Chinese, we are Westerners. So he says, wandering in the West, he talks so much about India, the life of Indians in 629 AD at Kannauj. And he describes Peshawar, he describes Patna, he describes Nalanda and many more places, including Sanchi. He describes all those things. And he took those books back to China.